Howdy everybody, thanks for tuning in. Thought I'd do a little update. This thing is not done. This is the cross slide support Gingrey shaper made from blocks of aluminum versus castings. But here you can see the nice cold rolled steel that I ordered. Found a supplier on eBay called Alro Metals, and these pieces that I bought were actually shipped from Greensboro, North Carolina, so it didn't take long at all. I figured when I was at it ordering the 3-inch cold rolled, I'd order the 1/8 by 1/4 inch cold rolled that I could use for gib stock. So I'll use that for the remaining gibs, but as you can see, I've got it drilled and tapped, and I've got the countersinks done for the 1/4 20 flathead screws. I've got they were actually 1.25 inch screws, so I had to cut them all off, but they'll go. I tapped it deeply, and that'll hold the whole assembly together. If you remember when I made this, it's a sandwich of a couple of pieces of metal. So I'm at a stopping point because it's time to go in and get ready for work for tomorrow, but I just want to show the setup. I use if you're counting and if you're looking at your Gingrey book, you'll notice, man, that's some extra holes there. But I figured since I was doing the laminated block, what I would do, they just call for 1 inch, then like one set right here, one in the middle, again one here and one here. What I did, I put an extra set on the little wing portion, so I've got a total of 4 screws on either wing, if you will, and then the one set in the center as planned. And then what I did, I had another set here, and I'll show this later when I get this part finished, but these go down right to where the pads are for the thing to slide on the front center vertical slide. So they're fairly evenly spaced. Let me pan over here, I'll show you what I did. I took a Xerox copy of the appropriate page in my book, I laid it out, and I played with different things, and I came up with the 2 rows there. Since I've got a DRO, it makes it easy for me to plan out where I put the holes. And in order to get this in place, the book calls for the top of the plate to have a 1/2 inch clearance behind here. Let's see if you can see that there. So what I used, I measured, and I actually have basically some gauge blocks that are exactly a 1/2 inch. So I cleaned everything off really well, and I applied some super glue to the top of the cross slide support, and then I put it in place, and I could wiggle it around and get it flush on the end and use the gauge block. I don't know if is that in the view anywhere there. Where the heck? I could use the gauge block to there we go, to align it. So I got my 1/2 inch clearance there. Anyway, hope that makes sense to you. So, and once it was in position with the crazy glue, then I use the 4 clamps to hold it down, and I've just left the clamps in place while I drilled and tapped everything and countersunk. I indexed with the DRO. I indexed off of this corner as my 0, then I could just step over and step down for all the process. It's still, even with the DRO, it helps, but it's a very lengthy process. And so tomorrow night I'll tap the remaining 6 holes on the top row and put the screws in, and I'll be done. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you posted.